Hey everybody, Roger here. So breaking news, at 5 a.m. this morning, Jussie Smollett had turned himself into the Chicago Police Department. He is in custody. He has already taken fingerprints, had a mugshot done, you know, his selfies, whatever. That's probably how he would, they probably termed it to him so he could understand what the picture was about. And yeah, he's currently awaiting his time in court. He was brought in pretty early, so he avoided all the hoopla with a lot of the reporters and journalists and people waiting outside. So, you know, kudos to him for not wanting to cause drama in that respect. Not that he didn't cause drama in other respects. But for those of you that, you know, a refresher, he was charged with disorderly conduct, which apparently is a class 4 felony, and he could probably face, you know, 1.5 to 3 years in prison for this, for orchestrating. Again, I think the biggest thing here was the letter. You know, that is a federal issue, and looking like it's now a federal crime that's going to be going against him. So we'll see what happens. But all in all, everything is kind of piecing itself together in a span of 3 weeks. A lot of this stuff has been resolved or close to resolved. We're going to find out more. We'll get a verdict hopefully soon, and you know, who knows how long that's going to take. But in the interim, I wanted to compare this. I wanted to compare this with another major event that has been dragging. This one was a perfect example of Donald Trump's apparent scenario with being tied to Russian collusion. And I'm like, you know, there's a lot of people on that bandwagon who don't have evidence, who are all going on assumption, and they still believe it. So you guys believe Jussie, even with all the evidence that was mounting up against him, you believe Jussie. And granted, there are some of you, select few, who have actually come out and taken ownership of the shit. And here's another theory I want to play with. You know, I'm not even going to rule out Kamala Harris and Cory Booker as being implicit in this hoax. I think that there is a lot of questions to be asked. Hopefully Jussie sounds like the type of person who would throw people under the bus. He was almost willing to do that with the two brothers, you know, and then, well, people he didn't know. Let's put it that way, because when he was told that the two people have been apprehended and identified, he was like, okay, I want to go ahead and pursue, you know, charges, and I'm glad they caught them and whatnot. But then when he found, this is people he didn't know, so he's willing to put people he doesn't know under the bus. That's scary. That is scary. How can somebody have a good conscience and a good heart? Now that's the racism issue in America. And it's not even racism. It's just, that's the issue in America. You know, somebody willing to put somebody under the bus, put somebody away, an innocent person away, or two innocent people away, when he doesn't even know who was caught. He's just like, okay, well, hey, they caught some people, so yeah, let's run with it. Let's run with it. Little did he know, a little while later it was revealed that it was the two brothers, and then he's like, oh shit. So yeah, it's kind of crazy, this whole scenario, the way it's happened. But all these people who have been supporting him, maybe about 5% of you guys have finally opened up your eyes and saw, yeah, this guy is most likely lying. The probability of him telling the truth with all this evidence mounting up is slim to none. You guys are not doing the same thing with Trump. You know, it's been 2 years now, 2+ years, or I don't know if it's plus, but 2 years approximately, that this case against him for Russian collusion has been going on. And I'll be honest with you, I don't follow that bullshit all that much. All I know, I follow the briefings here and there, but I'm not keeping track of it because I know it's all bullshit. And yeah, so you guys are, except I am pretty aware of the things that are supposedly going against him at the time, which is pretty much nothing. Here's the thing. You guys still believe in a false hope there, just like you believed in the false hope with Jussie. It's a good example here that you should take it as a lesson. Take this lesson with you that, hey man, you know, Jussie was found out. We believed in him. We believed a lie. You guys should be seeing the same thing with Trump here. You're not finding any evidence. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm repeating myself, but you're not finding the evidence against Trump. It's been dragging. You guys are also, oh, and then this one kills me. And I'm not saying that to be a dick, but there was apparently a 1-year-old who was also murdered, and everybody's trying to put this against the Chicago PD. I believe that's the scenario right now, is that, you know, they're comparing it to this. Oh, you guys' resources should be going here instead of the Smollett case. I think there's resources to go around that can definitely solve this case as well. I'm not saying it the way the police handled the Smollett case that I like it or anything. I'm glad it was handled swiftly, but the manpower, the amount of hours, the dedication to it, unlike putting dedication to murder cases in Chicago, I will definitely agree with you guys on that. You know, this baby scenario is very important for sure, and we do want to get cases like this resolved. However, you guys are being fucking hypocrites as well. You guys are hypocrites because there's millions of dollars going into this Trump case when we could be putting it elsewhere. The same thing with the government shutdown. What did that cost us? $11.2 billion, $11.5 billion. More than half of what Trump was asking. And again, I'm going to say this over and over again. You know, yeah, we've had, I'm sorry I'm going all over the board here, people. It'll be quick. We've had a lot of people say, we don't need a wall. Walls are bad. We don't need a wall. They're dehumanizing and whatnot. And we can do the same thing with tech. We can do the same thing with all the things that we can, you know, the modern technology of security that we can put on the border. That's how we'll do it. Well, yeah, granted, funding for border security, border protection has gone up incrementally throughout the years, and how it's structured and organized in between, though, is a different story. But who's to say that there's not going to be any sort of a decision later on down the line to reduce funding, to cut funding in half, to reduce funding exponentially, dramatically in the future? It could go down way more than what we have putting into it right now. You know what would make sure that even if that did happen, even if funding was cut for border funding did happen? A wall being in place would dramatically decrease the relevancy if we cut funding or whatnot. We would still have a pretty good wall that would protect us. And yeah, granted, you know, funding should still be going into it here and there, you know, over the years as it gets worn down and weaker. A lot of the funding could be put in the direction of that. But again, a wall will not be a victim of less border protection if funding were to eventually decrease. So yeah, that's my fight for that. Anyways, what are you guys' thoughts about the Jussie Smollett case? He turned himself in. Good for him. I will praise him for that. I'll give him that. I'm not going to give him praise for him, you know, continuing with the lie. And who knows, maybe he's going to continue with the lie in the court hearings. Again, this would be even worse. If he's lying under oath, ooh, boy. And the evidence turns up against him, whoo. We'll see what happens, peeps. All right, so like, hey, subscribe, unsubscribe, share, don't share. I do love it all. Peace out.